Happy Thanksgiving to all my wonderful true crime family. I hope you are feeling blessed today. I know it is with mixed emotion that we have not brought Sebastian home yet, and Summer and many of the children. But remember, we're here till we do. Hello, Beth. Hi, Mrs. Nobody. Hey, Doodle Mom. Hello, Chicky. Hey, Barb. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? Hi, Lakia Ann. Hi, Brenda Sue. How's everyone doing today? We're just going to have a little conversation. I like to spend time with you on the holidays, make sure everyone has some company and somewhere to be. Hi, Cece. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I did see a message I want to read from Doodle Mom. We are Sebastian's army. We are Summer's army. We are Michael Vaughn's army. Little Melody Buzzards out there somewhere, my friends. There's so much going on. Anna Kepner's family today celebrating Thanksgiving without her. Their entire blended family's just basically exploded with two kids being one death, one involved. He has not received charges yet, but there's so much that's been going on. And you know what? Think about all the kids that don't have awareness and all the families that wish they did. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Melissa French. It's good to see you all. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Thanksgiving. Doodle Mom says, today I'm thankful for Seth Rogers and our amazing community here we call Sebastian's Army. Amen to that. Amen to that. We talked a little bit about Sebastian last night with Chris Proudfoot's confirmed alibi. He was seen putting skirts on his RV in the dark, cold night from 8 p.m. till after midnight by his supervisor, who is a crane coordinator for the St. Jude's project, which is an enormous project. It's not a small deal. And my question to you is this: if he had Saturday off and he had Sunday off, so we know he was in Memphis, okay? Couldn't get home from after midnight and be in the crane at 5:15. They have mapped his entire movements on the 26th at the St. Jude's project. So he could not have gotten back in time. That would have put him, if he just drove straight there and straight back to Hendersonville, it would have been after 7. But the skirts, as we saw, if you missed the live, go back and watch it today. Hi, Jane Michael. The skirts hide the underneath of an RV. Please explain to me, when you've been there for months, why, if you're doing it for insulation reasons, why would it be done on February 25th when you explained to the first reporter, that there was an emotional roller coaster going on at home? Why would that propel him to put skirts on his fifth wheel, hiding the complete underneath of the fifth wheel? All you have to do is put one zip up, slide something in, zip it down, and it's hidden. So, oh, thank you, Jane Michael Interiors. She said, I emailed you a video of beach storage unit walked around and a few other pictures. Yes, we are so thankful that Seth and Sebastian have brought us all together. We love you, Seth. We do. And Seth, you are in our hearts. You are in our prayers. All of the families are. And please know we're here for you and we are not stopping. I'm sure as time goes on, we have to remember no one's a statistic. No one's based on time, but there is some, nerves going on around as far as that goes. Hi, Retha Bell. Hi, Pat. Good to see you all. So, what would propel a man who admitted to this very supervisor he was leaving Katie? He was done with this SHIT. I'm paraphrasing. But suddenly something's going on and he propels into action, possibly with the skirts, which, by the way, where was the phone call? Because he was out there from 8 to after midnight. Could have been someone brought up, could have had an earpiece in. Yes, could have. That was a great thought. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Passion Flower. Hi, True Crime Junkie. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. If you're on the road, stay safe, drive carefully, don't drink, please. Make good decisions. If you're home alone today, know you're not alone. Please, please know you have a family and we are right here. You are right. We are right here. So, what would propel him out? Hi, Pat. Thank you so much for your sweet donation to the channel, $2. I truly appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving back to you, my friend. I just don't see a man who was off all weekend and had daylight hours running out there at 8 p.m. to do this. And then bringing the whole some of the family back for 24 hours, spending the night, leaving KP, and getting that RV out of there. And we've discussed it. Those of us with RVs know it's not a 24-hour event, and many family members, especially since he's completely capable, apparently, of putting the skirts on himself. Why does he need them for the easy part? Taking them off, tying down the cabinets, emptying the black tank. It makes no sense. Caroline says, I think CP's buddy is lying for him. Caroline, if that is the case, he has spoken to FBI numerous times and told them he would testify. If he's willing to put his life and career on the line, then maybe so, but he's not that close with Chris. In my opinion, this man is telling the truth. The FBI was all over St. Jude. They have he explained the very sophisticated cameras that they have. Very sophisticated cameras that they have. They don't erase things. They keep them 5 years because you never know. They have children in that hospital. So you know how people try to kidnap babies and children. So they have a sophisticated system, and they absolutely tracked his movements that day before sending him home. He also told them, the FBI, he would testify. Now, you know, when I first heard this alibi, I did the same thing. I said, please, who is this guy? No offense, sir. But when I listened, the more I listened, the more I listened, the more I thought, I don't think he'd blow up his career for someone he's really not that close to. Because if you really think about it, we've been covering this case for almost 2 years. Sebastian Rogers, if you're coming into the chat, is there one person that you can see that Chris Proudfoot has a friend? Not someone he pays to hang out with him, allegedly. Not family member who has to hang out with him, allegedly. I'm a friend who chooses him. Give me one name. Please don't give me a name of someone who might be being paid to distract, but a friend who's just there because they love him and his personality. I challenge that. I haven't heard one. So, and my reason being is that shows his character. Hi, Teresa, all the way to the UK. Thank you so much for being with us. I believe what Passion Flower is saying. The RV is important somehow. Ellie should never have allowed him to leave for all those hours. If my husband left me in a time of need, that would be the end. Yes. Now, let's talk about this. He was planning on leaving Katie. So the supervisor explains his alibi. So if we're going with the alibi, then we're going to go with what else he said. He was done with the marriage, walking out, finished. So if Katie did something dumb, allegedly, or an accident happened and she wanted to cover it up instead of be honest, allegedly, or something was arranged and premeditated, allegedly, and it was just KP. I'm not accusing anyone. I am absolutely theorizing. That man would not be standing by her for 2 years if he had no knowledge, nothing to do with it. So who would he be loyal to? Mama and Melissa, in my opinion. I want to know what part of the day Melissa was present. I want to know what vehicle she drives. We found out last night it's maroon with a handicap sticker because she's disabled. I didn't know that. There's a lot of things I wanna know. Did Melissa ride home with them some point during the day and remain in the home? I'm not accusing, I'm theorizing. Brandon Carter said no cars came and went once Sebastian and KP returned from the home, no cars came and went. That's important. Once they returned from Texas Roadhouse. He did not mention other cars in the area. He did not mention the 3 a.m. sedan. However, there was an Uber in the neighborhood. And, you know, I do want to say that Uber, although a neighbor has come out and said, well, that was an Uber coming to pick someone up from the neighborhood. We have not heard law enforcement say that. And if you have, if you could send that to me. I have a theory was that Melissa in the wee hours of the morning, allegedly not accusing, taking an Uber to the neighborhood and then running through the backyards with a flashlight to get to the house. Hi, Minnie. I'm glad you're in bed all comfy. Let me go ahead and go through the chat. Hi, Raymond. Passion Flower says, what personality? They are awful people, so only people that would like them are the awful family. We have no one coming forth that says this guy's a great man. I've known him my whole life. He doesn't have friends, in my opinion. Yes, Cece, that's another thing that we were able to garner from this superior. The FBI, are investigating because they were up there at least twice. Might have even been more than twice. Home with my dogs, so you're not alone. They're such good company, aren't they? Yes, FBI or law enforcement said all cars had been accounted for. So tell us who was in the Uber. Tell us who was in the gray sedan you didn't ask the public to help identify, but haven't even mentioned, allegedly, in my opinion. And if you're going to say there wasn't a 3 a.m. sedan, then go ahead and march on over to one of your county commissioners and ask her why she was telling people that. The only friend we know of that about Katie is Lori, who was there when Seth arrived that day. Katie never mentioned her. She lives out of state. She would not have been able to get there from 6 a.m. to what time Seth got there, so she had been there. Why was that not included in the narrative? And my friend was there, and her son and Sebastian are good buddies. Did her husband come too? She's military as well. But what someone did bring up was a great point. A great point. They are all KP and CP are military. Someone who was military in the chat last night said they receive military benefits and things. And if you report this to the military police, they will look into their behaviors. And if they don't even so much as like the way they're behaving with the threats, the this, the that, they could very much cut benefits and do things like that. So I'm thinking about that today. That's on my mind. I'm actually going to be with someone who is in special ops in the military. I'm going to have a conversation today. I'm also going to have a conversation with a few nurses today. So we're going to, keep any information you have. Who do you think CP would be loyal to? Sure as heck not Katie, who he was leaving. Who is he protecting? And now Minnie says, I still say he's not protecting anyone except for himself. I think this was premeditated. Very well could be. And you know what? Who would a narcissist protect? Only themselves or their source of money. And if anything happened that involved his sources of money, mama socks and milk, his money and his milk come from mama socks, allegedly, in my opinion, I think he might protect. But when was Melissa present that day? I'm gonna be going back and listening to the audios from the PIs, things like that. I implore you to go on my channel and watch the videos today with the audios, take notes, so when we gather again, we can come up with some more ideas. Yes, don't talk about my family, don't search their properties, stay off everyone's properties. Well, you know what? We talk about movement between motels for STing. How about movement between rental houses? How about movement between homes being built? Right? Hi, Raymond. Let me go into the chat and see what everyone's saying here. Melissa is very sketchy in my opinion. Yes, and I have a local source who said she showed up at her daughter's school the week this occurred and said out loud, allegedly, I hope my brother didn't have anything to do with this. Yes, we are talking about Summer today as well, Raymond. Raymond says, Seth, Sebastian, and Summer in my prayers today. Mine too, my friend. Mine too. All the moms, Brandy and Tyler, Melody Buzzard's family. Let's talk about Melody Buzzard for a minute. Melody Buzzard, let me pull up a picture of Melody. Hold on one second. And I'm sorry, I didn't pull up Sebastian's picture. I can do that. You hear my tummy growling? My tummy's growling. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Last night's live was wonderful. This is Melanie Buzzard. Okay, get off of there. Melanie Buzzard is 9 years old. Wait, let me go back. Sorry, my friends, you're not getting what I was showing. What is going on? Let me visit it again. Okay, share this tab. This is beautiful. Melody Buzzard. Melody is 9 years old. She has been missing since her mother returned from a road trip without her. Her mother and her went on a road trip. Let me pull my notes up. I don't want to give you any incorrect information. 1 second. Her mother went on a road trip with her. The last time Melody was seen, 9-year-old Melody was wearing a wig in the rental car agency. Strange enough, right? Now, Melody her father died when she was very young. She's being raised by her single mom, Ashley Buzzard. They went on a multi-day road trip, multi-states. They left October 7th, and Ashley, her mother, returned October 10th back to California without Melody. They went from Nebraska, they were in Colorado, Utah, and she came home without her daughter. When Melody was last spotted at the rental car agency, she was wearing a wig and disguised just like her mother does. The kicker again is Melody's mother is not cooperating with law enforcement. Chicky says, thanks for going live today. My pleasure. You're my family. You guys are my true crime family. I'll come back, you all. I'll come back to the chat. I'm coming back. I just want to bring some awareness to this young lady. She is this little girl, excuse me. Now, her mother is not cooperating with police. Her mother was seen taking all the missing posters off her front yard. It was originally reported she was cutting the faces out. A friend of hers who had been there several times during that first week, or in the first week in November, went to her home, and he said she had not cut the faces out. She had taken the posters, missing posters off the poster boards. Get this one, my friends, buckle up. And when he entered the home, there was a pillow, the ones with the arms. It had Melody's sweatshirt on and Melody's pants. She had stuffed Melody's clothing with a pillow, had it sitting on the couch with the missing flowers around her like a shrine. Made my stomach just turn. And that's alarming to me. Is that a mom who knows where her child is? Is that a mom who thinks her child's coming home? Now, in recent days, this same individual who saw the shrine, pillows dressed like Melody, he said Ashley told him she met a couple at a zoo. It's been alleged the zoo was in Utah, but that has not been confirmed. It could have been anywhere on the road. And she gave Melody to them. She told him that she was changing her routes because they kept changing the meetup location. So we don't know if they met at the zoo and that's where she handed Melody over, if they met at the zoo, said hi, and later on had contact and they met somewhere along the route. We don't know. We don't even know if it's true. But mom claims she was having a surgery. The friend said it was a same-day surgery. And the mom said it was a same day, or the friend said it was a same-day surgery. Mom alluded to the fact that they were going to watch Melody while she recovered. Well, it was an outpatient surgery. Where is Melody Buzzard? Apparently, they went from Colorado. Let me tell you one thing. She drove west on I-70. She may have diverted to the Route 89 going through Grand Junction, Colorado. You all know I was raised in Colorado. Then she went through St. George, we believe. Now, law enforcement has not confirmed the route. St. George to Vegas and then back to Lompoc, California without Melody. But we've gotten nothing precise from investigators. That's just people saw her. Someone saw Ashley in Colorado near the Utah border, but we're not sure of the exact location. She's been packing. She was taken to court for alleged imprisonment of this friend who shared the story. There was an audio. Ashley was recording. And a few times he said, I would like to leave now. He claimed, which I believe him, because who keeps saying I would like to leave now if you're not able to leave? He does claim that she had a box cutter. She locked the doors and he felt he could not get out. So those charges were dropped, her ankle bracelet off. Instantly when that happened, she started loading a U-Haul, pulled a U-Haul into her driveway and started loading appliances and boxes into the U-Haul. She offered this friend, prior to this little disagreement that they had where he told what she had said, she offered Melody's clothes to him for his, I think he said nieces or daughters. And he said, that's very odd because she said Melody outgrew them, but Melody's the same size as the kids she was offering the clothing to. Friends, it doesn't look good to me. She claims she does not have the information now. Thank you, Raymond. Please welcome Raymond and join us Saturday for our members live if you receive this very kind Crime Time Buzz membership. Raymond, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. And Chicken Lady, tell her happy Thanksgiving for me. So we have Melody not home, mom not cooperating. She went in remote areas on this road trip, changing her license plates along the way, which, by the way, she also told her friend Tyler, the people that she met up with to give Melody to are the ones who told her a website to go to get license plates that wouldn't be, tracked, that she could change throughout the trip. But yet she has no contact with them, doesn't know how to get a hold of them, doesn't have an address as to where they live that she handed off her daughter allegedly, and she's not cooperating. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. Why have these people not come forward? Maybe they're as loony, excuse me. Forgive me for saying that. Maybe they are, okay, I'm gonna say it, sorry, please forgive me. Maybe they're as wacko as her mother allegedly, and they think like she does. And so they're not the kind of people that are gonna go, "Hey, it's us, we have her." And maybe Melody is used to a wandering lifestyle with her mother. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it's so, and this is a younger picture, Caroline said, of when she was 5. Another picture not getting, so another picture that isn't recent. If you are with us, hi, Rusty Pipes. Hi, Wandra, Suzanne. Thanks for all being here. I just wanted to spend some time with you today before I head to skedaddle. I love to spend the holidays with my true crime family. You have a Rottweiler that's 170 pounds, Raymond? Oh my goodness. I have to tell you guys a funny story. Speaking of Rottweilers, Raymond. I showed you all some of the deer that had been on at the end of the driveway on the side of the hill. I showed you one. I've seen another one or two since then. I had a dream the other night that my dog, I have one dog left, by the way. My dog Kai, the apricot golden doodle, he and I were taking a walk down the driveway in the side of the hill, and we saw a deer. But in my dream, the deer's face turned to a Rottweiler face and was just growling and snarling at us. So, Raymond, that is crazy that you bring up a Rottweiler, because that dream, the deer's head turned into a Rottweiler head and was snarling at me. And I guess what would that mean, Raymond? That I'm internally, psychologically fearful of Rottweilers? Possibly. Hi, let them 66. Hi, nanny of 8. Yeah, it was freaky, Caroline. Caroline, I love the fact that you share such important details. Like, I wasn't going to hit on the photo being a young photo, but that's important, isn't it? Why do we have mothers who give out? Sorry, I'm not at my normal office. Why do we have numbers that give out mothers, excuse me, that give out young pictures when your child is missing? Give the most recent photo, please, parents. Raymond says, Jay, his name is Brutus. I named him right, my best friend. That is amazing. I used to have a frog named Brutus when I was little. I love the name Brutus. That is a perfect name for him, Raymond. Perfect. You know, Raymond, I think last year, correct me if I'm wrong, was it last year around this time you had a baby granddaughter born? Or was that more around Mother's Day? I recall you had a grandbaby born around the holidays. How's the baby doing, my friend? That's a great name for a dog. Yes. Love it. Diana says, Jay, I find it very disheartening that this is happening to these children and the parents think that it is okay. At no time is it okay for these innocent babies, in my opinion. Diana, I am right there with you. It is hard for the world to watch parents, even if they have nothing to do with it. It's hard to watch them not fight and speak for their children. And let's go back to the Cleveland 3. If you missed our show, it's on Nick the Hat's channel with Charles Ramsey, the hero who saved the Cleveland 3. I will be putting some on my channel as well. I've just been busy and I'm working on getting something up there. He kicked a door in and rescued 3 women and a baby. And if you missed that live, go to Nick's channel. It's up there right now. It is in 2 parts. It was just myself, Julie Grant from Court TV was on there, Mr. E, and Nick, and Charles Ramsey, of course. So, and it takes someone to stop turning away. Like, I respect Ashley's friend who's come out and spoken and told what she told him. I don't respect people in Sebastian's neighborhood who've heard things but are harboring the secrets and the whispers. But boy, oh boy, friends, they're going to be telling those secrets and their whispers, aren't they? When they're sitting in a chair under oath. And then we're all going to say, why weren't you the kind of human being who did this on your own? You had to be dragged in here. And the beauty will be it'll be on the media most likely, and we'll get to watch them stumble through their words and have to explain why for almost 2 years they shut their mouths. Cat Lady Robin, I know you fight every day, and it makes me mad these parents don't care. Me too, my friend. You've lost 2 children. Your baby girl taken in such a horrific way, my friend, and I'm so glad you're here with us today, surrounded by us. Please lift Cat Lady up today, Robin, who lost her daughter at the hands of a monster who's still trying to get out. So now she has to relive it because he thinks he deserves better than what little Nicole deserved. And he does not deserve better. He does not deserve to walk around and enjoy life and make memories when he took that from Nicole, Robin's daughter. Oh my goodness. So let's talk Summer Wells. Okay, Summer's parents. They have gone underground. I'm going to say it again. They have gone underground. She went missing June 15th. Let me pull Summer up for you. Forgive me. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. First of all, let me do one thing. Go to the FBI. I'm going to share some Sebastian's photo. I did not share it while we were talking, and I am coming back to the chat. This is Sebastian Rogers. There's a $500,000 reward. $50,000 is from the FBI. That's Sebastian. He's so handsome. He is soon to be turning 17 on December 17th, 15 when reported missing. We need to bring him home and get justice for all of these children. Let me pull Summer up for you. And then I'm going to tell you what's going on. This is Summer Wells. Summer went missing June 15th of 2021 in Tennessee, East Tennessee. Very, very, very little investigative information out there. Other than what we shared the other day, there just really is not a lot. However, in recent days, there have been a search on November 13th, 9 miles from her home. What will that garner? I do not know. I do not know. Hold on one second. I do not know what that will garner, what that has garnered, but what I did hear is they didn't have the card team for the FBI out at that search, but they had the evidence team. That's interesting. The parents, rather than speaking out, I gave them a little grace that first day, if you remember. I gave them a little grace and I said, well, maybe they're, if they're allegedly involved, they're hiding. If they're not involved, they're on the edge of their seat waiting to hear. Now, they've gone underground. I just heard it today from Mr. McDonough. Not only he spoke to Mary, the sister of Don Wells, and TBI can't even find them. So they are underground. I won't say they're on the run yet, but they are in hiding. So what about that search 9 miles away sent parents underground instead of screaming to the media, we may have found her? I ask you that. Are we close to solving this? I hope so. By the way, I wanted to let you know, remember when I brought up Jason Jensen putting out that post on X to the two brothers, I know who you are. Turn your brother in. They'll be easier on you. I know your name. And he wasn't referring to Summers Brothers. Well, apparently, I thought because where they were searching, two brothers lived in that area, the only property with Uncle Paul Hill. I put it together and I really thought that Jason Jensen, the PI from Utah, and he's now in Arizona too, provided that tip. But apparently it wasn't him. A content creator came out and said it was not Jason. She couldn't reveal her source or whom it was, but it wasn't Jason Jensen's tip. So what led them out there with that huge police presence? Now, Mr. McDonough says they had the FBI evidence team out there, that the wells, he spoke to Don's sister, Mary, and the wells, they're underground. They don't know where they are. TBI can't find them, wants to talk to them. Are they on the run? I don't know. But their child, there's been no movement for 4.5 years. There's finally a search 9.5 miles from home, and underground they go. I find that very fishy, my friends. They didn't go underground when they were down by the mailbox a few months ago. And the perimeter of the property, they weren't underground then. They didn't go into hiding then. They actually made a statement that TBI was at the house. I believe it was a local too. And I've said this, I think it has something to do with drugs or STing in the neighborhood. I do. I think it was a local. I don't know. I'm not going to say family. Did family have knowledge? Possibly. I mean, I think that even more so now that they're hiding, allegedly. But I think the cornbread mafia in that holler has a drug ring and an ST ring. So when you ask me what happened to Summer, I think Summer was mixed up into this risky environment. Someone involved her. She was taken for either a rug debt, STing to pay off a rug debt, and she got so high profile they couldn't return her, or something worse. But I don't think, how do I say it? I do believe it was something local, in my opinion. If you look at the terrain, and we'll look at it together again when we have a little more time. If you look at the terrain, it, in and out, you don't go up in that holler unless you have a reason to go. A lot of the reasons was rugs for people who didn't live there. Back in the day, it was for bootlegging. I had done some research back a few years ago. There was a big bootlegging thing going on. Now, so I don't think it's anyone who took her, there's nothing positive. They weren't trying to save and better Summer's life. They weren't trying to have a daughter, in my opinion. Like some of the theories came out. A bear, like the lead detective wants us to believe, did not take her, because when an animal takes someone, there's something left. There, you'd see a remnant of a patch of clothing or a sock or a hair bow. Well, she wouldn't have had a hair bow on because they shaved her head prior to this. Please, we hope to have justice for Summer very soon. I think it's huge that the FBI was out there as well. Diana says, I don't think she was taken for ST. I think it's worse than that. And Dee was home that day. Grandis, Candace, and Dee all know where she is, in my opinion. Very good theory. What do you think she was taken for? Do you think it was an accident? Do you think it was, what do you think, Diana? We also know that Ronnie Lawson, who won't be sheriff there much longer, he had the integrity to step down, in my opinion. He said that Candace waited to report Summer missing for 2 hours. So she reported her missing at 6:30, but 4:30, he said 2 hours she waited. He wanted to know, why'd she wait? I want to know, why'd she wait? That's a big question mark too. So someone could have had a vendetta against the parents. Someone could have had a debt with the parents. They had allegedly a party there a couple nights before. Someone could have seen Summer She's a beautiful little girl. And taken her, it could have been now her father did try to sell one of his sons with another woman. It could have been something like that. I don't know. We just don't know. And I do plan to really ponder and look at all of the articles in the next couple of days and form my theory. But my gosh, you guys, they're in hiding. They're in hiding. Caroline says, I agree she was taken for a debt. I do believe she's alive, though. That would be wonderful. Raymond says, trafficked by her parents, in my opinion. And Diana says, I believe she was unalived and they needed someone to hide what happened. By accident, unalived? Yes, they had that huge car payment for that new car Candace was driving. They owed money, $600 a month car payment, borrowed money, possibly rugs to make money for their debts. Yes, and Don Wells was known to frequent, how do I say it, unsavory places in Knoxville. And it has been said he would take Summer with him to motels in Knoxville. Raymond says, I feel AB and JSB know also, in my opinion. I do too. The day of the search on Van Hill Road, allegedly Jody Sue Brown went to Hunter's dad, Andy's house, which was odd, in my opinion. Why did she show up there? Hi, Maria. We need to find Sebastian, Summer, Melody, Michael Vaughn. There's been an arrest in Michael Vaughn's case with Stacy Wondra. I'm just pulling up photos because I didn't have all of this ready for us. Although hold on, wrong Michael, hold on. Although Michael has not been located yet, here he is. It's a handsome little guy too. Mike, let me share. Sorry, stop sharing this. Let me share the other one. There's Michael Vaughn. He is also still missing. Although someone was arrested, Stacy Wondra, who lived minutes from his home in the neighborhood, right? He is being charged with first-degree M of Michael, second-degree kidnapping and destruction of evidence, but they have not found Michael yet. So we need to also pray Michael is located, justice is served. It's starting, it looks like. Stacy was hold on, let me undo this. Extradited from Arizona to Idaho, had a hearing. There will be more on that. I'm hoping his wife Stacy, who is still or his wife Sarah, who's in jail for unrelated charges, gets charged. He was charged as he was getting ready to be released from a Phoenix federal jail. They approached him and served him with the charges of first-degree M, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction of evidence. I hope the same is done to Sarah, if involved. Also, Adrian Lucian, the one who, when they arrived to question them at the home on Red Ring Road in Fruitland, Idaho, where Michael is from, he was hiding in a closet. He is now on the run. Brandon Shirtliff, the other one involved, who allegedly brought the duffel bag out so they could put Michael in a duffel bag. Sarah had duct taped his mouth. They put him in the duffel bag, drove him to Brandon's house in Kuna, Idaho, and he suffocated there. They did not steal him to unalive him. Their story is they stole him to sell him so they could make money. Stacy and Sarah's cut was going to be $10,000. Well, guess what, my friends? Now you got 10,000 lots, 10,000 days, 10,000 months, 10,000 of everything that you're going to be spending sitting in bars deciding maybe you shouldn't have taken a child. It is a very disturbing world we live in. A man who worked with the tree service said people in Carolina discard bodies in already occupied graves. It's done all the time. Don, Candace, and Grandis talked to him that day, in my opinion. Okay, wait. So, Diana, you're saying a man who worked with tree service. Are you talking about the one that was at Summerwell's home on June 15th? Said people in Carolina discard bodies in already occupied graves. It's done all the time. Don, Candace, and Grandis talked to him that day, in my opinion. Okay. Thank you for that. I wonder if they do it in Carolina, I would assume it's done in many places. That's why I've said the secret cemetery in Sebastian's grandparents' neighborhood, step-grandparents, the Step Socks. Their home was never searched, apparently. And that cemetery should be searched because, in my opinion, I wouldn't put it past someone to put, if Sebastian's not with us, to put him in one of those graves at that secret cemetery, the abandoned cemetery. Or not abandoned, it's not abandoned, it's just hidden. Danny Guy, Kathy Bauer Sox's nephew's the one who owned all the land, built the homes there, and owns the strip between the woods and the cemetery and the homes. They were still building when Sebastian went missing. But lo and behold, investigators never dawned on them to go search the Step Sox home. And that prayers for Brandy, Tyler, and the rest of the family. Yes, Maria, thank you for that. That blows my mind. And you know what? Then when the glasses are found and look so similar, wouldn't a good investigator get a search warrant and search their home? Oh, no, didn't think of that. I think Sumner County showed up at that house on 1008 Stafford, and I have 3 theories. And they did not put up crime scene tape. They did not do forensics. They did not stop the construction trucks while they were running cadaver and scent dogs. They did none of the above. No luminol, no latent printing. Ridiculous. I think rather than following their training in the Department of Justice field guide for missing children investigations, they didn't walk in and treat it like a missing child like they should, so they don't miss evidence, that evidence is failed to be preserved or contaminated. They went in possibly and just took the mother's word for it. And they, in my opinion, could be very, very embarrassed. So embarrassed that it got so high profile, they look like alleged buffoons, and they've just wanted to go quiet and go away. Hi, Gypsy, because of what they did and didn't do. That's one theory I have. Second theory, they know what happened. They don't know how to prove it, or they don't want to prove it because they have relationships with the people, so there's a cover-up. So there's 3. They are completely humiliated. Number 2, they don't know what happened, and they don't know what to do, but they're so embarrassed of their investigation, they won't call in the people who could help. Number 3, they know what happened, and they're covering it up. In the cemetery, 3-ish in the morning, there was activity at that hour, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, they aren't good investigators, in my opinion, either. They're waiting for someone else to bring them the tip so they can run out like heroes and solve the case. That's not a hero. That's someone who's, well, let's just stay off of that right now. Gypsy says, hello, my Buzz family. So glad, honored, and thankful to be able to spend some time with you all. Back at you, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. Love you all so much. Oh, I better watch the clock. Okay. Love you all so much. I truly, truly do. Doodle says the cemetery is important. Sent you an email with timestamps, Jay. Yes, I've been on that cemetery for months, Doodle Mom, and thank you for the email. Please stop mentioning other creators in the chat. I will have to time you out, and I don't want to because I love you all. So please don't. Lawrence Smith says, this group, it's working in the authorities, will never search their home. What do you think they get all that money from? And this is my personal opinion, to buy those $1 million houses. Absolutely. They'll be answering for that too. They'll have to. When this goes to a true investigations, to true investigators, in my opinion, they will be looking in the housing industry. Sean Taylor has exposed it. We've been talking about it. People out of Sumner County are well aware of the dirty doings in Sumner County. And not only are they well aware, they said it's been going on for generations. So you know how, like, when Craddock makes a post and you get all those people going, we love you, thank you, thank you. Those will be people they will look at too. There's only a few. They're usually the same, often employed by him or married to him. But they will be looking into the people who were tooting his horn probably too, in my opinion. Let Them 66, thank you so much for your $2 donation to our channel. I'm going to be using all of your donations for equipment and production costs, so I truly appreciate them. Happy Thanksgiving, Jay. Love ya. Love you back, and thank you for spending time with me this morning. I think I would have just felt a little odd if we hadn't have been able to touch base today, because this is a day we should be thankful. And let's talk about being thankful for a second. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. Hey, Nick the Hat, happy Thanksgiving, my friend. I'm thankful for each and every one of you. And I am so thankful for the passion, the perseverance you put into these missing children. Sebastian Strong, Summer Strong, Michael Vaughn Strong, now Melody Buzzard Strong. We also lift up the family of Anna Kepner, who was found emmed on her family cruise ship by allegedly her 16-year-old stepbrother. He has not received charges yet, but apparently his mother came out. We read the document together stating that he is most likely going to be involved in an FBI prosecution in the sudden death of his stepsister. To all the families have empty chairs here today. We pray for you. We surround you. We're thinking of you. We're sending you good vibes. Whatever it is you believe in and you can receive, we are here for you. It truly is a travesty with all the children missing, all the kids missing, the empty chairs today. And Seth Rogers, please know that we will not give up till we bring him home. Brandy Neal, please know we won't give up till we bring Michael home. Don and Candace, please know we're not giving up till we bring Summer home. So Chris McDonough was on Court TV today and said he talked to Don's sister yesterday or today or yesterday, whenever they recorded. And she said Don and Candace Wells have gone underground. Even TBI wants to talk to them and can't find them right now. I find that a little odd. You know, your child's been missing 4.5 years and they're 9 miles from home and they've gone underground silent. So radio silent. So hopefully we are going, and Chris McDonough also said the FBI evidence team was there on Van Hill as well. I still have to finish listening to that interview. It was on Court TV today if you want to watch it. Everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you for lifting up all the kids, truly. And I want to say thank you for spending some time here with me this morning. Nick says they're not that hard to find. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Nick, but I thought I shouldn't. Check the Motel 6 in Springdale. I'm so glad you said it because I wanted to say that, but I wasn't sure I should. If you're looking for the Wells, check the Motel 6 in Springdale, Arkansas. Happy Thanksgiving, Jesse. Happy Thanksgiving to all. And Robin, to all of you who are having a little bit of a tough time today because you did have a child taken from you from a monster or you're living with the unknown, know you have a place to gather on holidays because we do gather here as a family on holidays. Thank you so much for being here. I'm grateful for you all. I'm grateful for your passion, your perseverance. I'm grateful for Nick the Hat, At Night Dog, everyone who wants to help. Charles Ramsey, who wants to help. He's a hero. He helped already save kids. All of the people in the FBI who truly are helping look for children, the U.S. Marshals, thank you so much for all you do. Rescuing in Florida, I believe it was 122 kids last week. Operation Bring Them Home for the Holidays. If we could get that in Tennessee, that would be amazing. There are many missing children in Tennessee. You all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Nick, have a great, great Thanksgiving. Thank you for all you do. Everyone, members, mods, those in the bushes, if you're here for the first time, welcome. Thank you all. I will see you for sure tomorrow. And I hope that you have just an oh, Jessica, we have a new member, Jessie Cam. Welcome to our family, Jessie. Saturdays, we will be members live. So join us. Thank you for all and you all for the support of the channel. Without you, this is nothing. Have a blessed Thanksgiving and let's remember those who are not home today. Thank you for being so kind, so loving, and so passionate. Yes, we also need to find Harmony Montgomery. Absolutely. Her father's behind bars for the rest of his life, but he will not say where he disposed of Harmony. Harmony Montgomery. Amen to that. Thank you for bringing up Harmony. That was a case close to my heart as well. So many children, so many times, so little time, but we're going to get them justice and bring them home. Hopefully we can bring Sebastian, Summer, Michael, and Melody home for the holidays and all the other kids. Talk soon, my friends. Stay grateful, stay true to yourselves, and stay safe.